is Frank, and I'm here with today's mini lesson on elapsed time. Elapsed time is when we find the difference between the start time and end time of an event, such as a game, a movie, a race. So I'm going to work on one word problem with you and show you how I would solve it, and hopefully that will help you solve elapsed time problems in the future. So let's take a look at a problem. This problem is about my friend named Melanie. Melanie was going to the movies. She went to a movie that started at 10:30 a.m. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write down the start time. 10:30 a.m. The movie was 3.5 hours, and we want to find out what time the movie finished. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our start time, and then we're going to count on the hours first. When we're finished counting on the hours, we're going to then switch to counting on the minutes, which is often what I like to do with elapsed time. Start by counting on hours until we can't add on any more hours, and then we switch to minutes. So let's take a look, and we're going to use a clock, and I preset the clock to 10:30 so that we were ready to go. So let's take a look. We're going to start at 10:30, and we're going to add on 3 more hours, and then we'll worry about the minutes later. So we're starting at 10:30. 1 more hour gets us to 11:30. 1 more hour gets us to 12:30, and then our third and final hour brings us to 1:30. So let's go ahead and write that out on our problem, and that way we can see exactly what we just did on the clock. So we were starting at 10:30 a.m., and 1 more hour brought us to 11:30 a.m. So that's our first hour. Then we went from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and that was our second hour. Notice how I went from a.m. and p.m. because we were at 11:30 a.m. So the next hour would actually be 12:30 p.m. So be very careful to look at your a.m. and p.m. when you're working out a problem to see if somewhere in your problem you're switching between a.m. and p.m. Be very careful. We then went from 12:30 p.m. and we added on our third hour, and that brought us to 1:30 p.m. So there, we added on our 3 hours. We then need to go back and add on our half hour. Since an hour is 60 minutes, then a half hour is 30 minutes. So let's go back to our clock and add on 30 minutes. So we are here at 1:30 p.m. So let's count by 5s and add on our 30 minutes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. There's our 30 minutes, brings us to 2 o'clock. So let's show that on our problem. And we were at 1:30 p.m. And then our half hour brought us, to 2 o'clock p.m. And that was our 30 minutes. So let's take a look. We added on our 1, 2, 3 hours and 30 minutes, and that brought us to 2 o'clock p.m. So Melanie's movie ended at 2 o'clock p.m. So whenever you're working on elapsed time, remember to start by counting on your hours until you can't add on hours anymore, and then switch to adding on your minutes. And that will hopefully help you find elapsed time in the future. If you don't have a clock at home like I had here, you can always draw one on a piece of paper. Start by drawing a circle, put your 12, your 6, your 3, and your 9, put the other hours in between, and then at least you'll have a visual that will hopefully help you add on your hours and your minutes for elapsed time. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for some more Count on Us. Have a great afternoon.